Hello, this is session 6 of the Site 42 playtest. We have something that we want to do right away here because we got that reward unlocked for the case file in the last session. And this one has been updated slightly. So it says, the reward for this one, rather, the Mandela bacterium case file is Site 42's monthly psych evaluation has arrived yet again. Each department head describes what their meeting with Dr. Sorokin, one of Sun's traveling psychiatrists, entails, and they may unmark any one of their wellness and safety reviews. Unmarking the planar passage or descending elevator does not revert the consequences of those prompts. Whoever would like to go first may.
I think we'll have Superintendent Jarvis go first, and I think coming off the high of the extremely successful disciplinary disciplinary meeting, Superintendent Jarvis goes into the psychiatric meeting, and every time, and just like with a big clipboard that has basically a printed out spreadsheet. It's got multiple pages and everything on it with printer paper, the kind of printer paper where you tear the perforated sides off the ends of it, like the old like 80s and 90s perforated printer paper. Printed out on that is just names and numbers and everything. And every time Dr. Sorokin asks a question, Arena Jarvis just reads off names and costs, and just being like, and at the end of it is they're just like, now I know that we're not going to put a cost like a dollar amount on human life, but we can put a dollar amount on like funeral services and mystics and all of those things, which, let's be clear, they're not nothing, but they're also not huge, but they add up. And Dr. Sorkin's like, and why is it that you feel so dedicated to like not engaging with this at all? $4,827,312.82. That's how much I saved. I mean, and then you talk about typical labor hours that you get for man hours and all that stuff, and plus the fact that I got a really good distribution deal for the toilet paper for the site. Like, we get it in bulk, we get the nice stuff, and we get it cheap. So there you go, Doc.
Love that.
I think General Burns' appointment is at the end of the month, and I think in his office he has this calendar. Like, he hasn't bought a calendar in 7 years, because every 7 years, like, the calendar itself just repeats the days of this exact month because of how like math works. So like this is like a calendar from the 70s that he has, and like he has like a little magnet that goes along the days, and it's like the final day of the month. And I think like one of the rules about going into the meeting is that you cannot have any weapons. So like there is just like this bucket like by the door that's not like we could see, that's filled with knives. And I think Gilbert Burns just laughs because even though he's taken out all of his knives, he will still always have knives. I think the questions just go over about like, how are you incorporating yourself into the general company culture here? How do your coworkers feel about you? Are you acclimating well? Are you performing to the best of your abilities? Are you performing to the expectations of what it means to be human? I think like General Gilbert Burns is talking about like what has happened over the past month about the being the employee of the month, and is very excited to see who gets it next month. Who can compete with him? Because the people here are fragile. They cannot regrow limbs. That is a very surprising fact that he's learned. I think that's where we're going to cut the scene.
So Officer Lafayette comes with a bunch of papers, maybe a folder. And he sits in a chair in front of the psychiatrist and opens it and shows a picture of Sandy and said, "Who is this girl haunting my dreams? I never had a daughter. What are you doing to me here? I'm really messed up. I miss my girl. I miss Louisiana. I miss New Orleans. What is this Site 42 doing to my head? I need answers."
Excellent. I think that's a great place to just leave that scene. I think it's great if we don't get to know what she says after. All right. So we have done everything up to commencing regular scenes for the research phase. However, since one of our players isn't joining us this time, get well soon, Aaron. Hopefully, or not hopefully, but I would like to just go over what everyone would like to do once again. So, what would you all like to accomplish during this upcoming research phase, including requesting scenes for the virtuous move? And would you like to have any of your unassigned team members accompany you?
I think that Superintendent Jarvis is finally going to bite the bullet and go out in the field and begin talking to the entity directly. I think that's kind of my big thing, and I'm also available for any virtuous moves. I think I remember um, Gilbert Burns. I think you said you needed a virtuous move,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm available for that.
Yeah, I do want to do a virtuous move. After that, I would like to investigate the womb. I'm very excited about that.
So am I. Just as a brief reminder,
Mhm.
there are 3 active investigations. There's the meat parade, Red Thumb, and the womb of the mother. The womb of the mother being perhaps the more pressing one at the moment, literally and figuratively.
I know
Yeah,
Officer Lafayette has a few conditions.
yeah. I would like to clear a condition when from who maybe with General Burns.
Mhm.
And then I would like to go to this place, to this meeting that that I saw in the pamphlet. You know, that I saw the photo of the girl, of Sandy, who I don't know if she's my daughter or not, because I'm going really crazy, you know. And that's what I would like to do. So I can wait till Superintendent does his move with General Joel Burns, and then I can do mine. So
Mhm.
no worries.
All right. And would anyone like any of their team members to tag alongside them for their escapades?
Just specifically, I want my manacle jester crew to assist me with this because I think like I need a lot of hands, and I'd rather not bring my entire team because I think that would be a lot on you, Steph, to manage all those side characters.
Well, you only have two that are available to accompany you because the other ones are off
Yeah.
busy doing other things like guarding your unmarked vans with animatronics in them.
Oh, that's right. That's what I forgot. Yeah. So I'll also bring brain blasters. Let's go.
All right. So if that's it, please continue.
Since Officer Lafayette is really scared, he will take all his members to the meeting. All his members to the meeting.
Nice.
And maybe to realize that he's not crazy, you know?
Yeah. A little bit of a team bonding exercise.
Right.
Go to the community harvest. Sounds excellent. I love this. All right. So, I think it would make sense to start off here, given where we had left off in the previous sessions, as well as everything currently in the story. I think it would make sense to start off with General Burns and Superintendent Jarvis's virtuous move.
Mm-hmm. Superintendent Jarvis.
Are we just like in my office, or where do we want to be?
I'm fine wherever because like I think like General Burns will just pop up wherever, right? And I think it's a very funny idea. Like you're entering in your office and General Burns is just there.
Oh, that's great. All right. So all right, you pop up and say,
Superintendent Jarvis, I've been waiting for you.
Well, yeah, you had to do it in the dark, huh?
Oh, it's because I found this bouncy ball and I accidentally threw it and it hit the light switch. So that's on me. I didn't break anything though.
Well, I appreciate that. What can I do for you, General?
Well, you know, as of late, we have officially expanded our team roster because, well, some members of the team did die recently and we needed to gain new employees.
You're talking about our mutual friend.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting to see how he commingles with everybody.
Yes, I think he will do well. I am slowly alchemating him to the sort of culture of our organization. He's still a bit nervous. He still thinks that there's things out to get him, which are partially true, but
Yeah.
not to the extent he thinks about it.
Yeah, it's not Microsoft or anything. Like hell, that Microsoft would make if the big bad was Microsoft, that would make our job so much easier.
Of course. They do some cruelties in the world, but that's not the stuff we're concerned with.
Yeah, I mean,
I did give Director Star sort of the paperwork and whatnot. It seems that everything has been accepted through, so I'm very, very excited.
Well, then seems like everything's going great through the proper channels and everything. What do you need from you? You know what? I think I can guess what you want me to help Heartboy feel comfortable.
Yes, because you've been here a little bit longer than Officer Holden. And I think that Hardboiled would be very alarmed by our lead researcher, Dr. Imogen, because Dr. Imogen likes to experiment, and I don't think Hardboiled's ready for any experiments.
No, you don't think he's ready for any kind of experimentation?
No, not to be experimented on.
Oh, experimented on. So you do think that he is ready to experiment for experiment? You know what, Burns, I think that I think that it's really really honorable what you're doing, just like really bringing Heartboil in. Why don't I'll tell you what I'll do. I will set up a meeting, just a private meeting between me and Hardboil, and just kind of an intake kind of meeting.
Mhm.
That kind of that. What do you think that? What do you think about that?
I think that would go over quite well. Excellent. I'm glad that we are on the same page on things.
And I know you kind of want him on your team. Are you going to be okay if he doesn't end up on your team?
I will be a little bit sad, but it's for the greater good.
Yeah. You know what?
I just want to make sure that Hardboil is accepted by his fellow team members. And I know if he was on my team, we have this particular ideal about understanding that folks are different in the world.
Well, I want you to know, just I'm going to accept him so hard.
Excellent.
And I'm just, we'll get this done right. We'll have the intake. We'll have all of the conversations that everyone's supposed to have, and everyone in their proper place. It'll be fantastic. You know what? Thank you for bringing Heartboil in. I have wanted to take a closer look at him for a while. So I'm glad we finally got the chance.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now I have another meeting. I have to find Officer Lafayette because I have to make sure that he's aware about where I'm going, because I'll be gone for a few days.
Wait, where are you going?
I'm going into the womb. I have to see it for myself. It's fascinating to see that the ground itself is eating people.
I mean, I'm headed out there as well because we got to start talking.
Excellent.
So, I mean, you're gonna have my back though, right?
Yes, I'm bringing several of my excellent team members along with.
The ones with the chains.
Not the ones with the chains, the ones with the multiple hands and the.
That's right. Sorry, I heard something about jesters and manacles, and I got my head turned around.
Oh no, I'm bringing along the jester crew.
Okay.
That they don't have change. That they have more those colorful napkins. I don't know what they're called, but like it's something that magicians like to pull out of hats.
Yes. You pull out the handkerchiefs, and it's like never-ending handkerchiefs.
Yes.
You know what? That's going to be a fun time there in the womb while we get eaten.
Yes, it's much more pleasant than chains, because chains can draw blood, and then if we draw blood, then we have a chance of being absorbed, and that's not. No one wants to be absorbed. We just want to be eaten.
Speak for yourself, General Burns. Nah, I'm just messing with you.
General Burns gives you a quizzical look about like whether or not you're actually serious, and this is just going to be. He's going to have to keep an eye on you even closer.
Yeah, with your quizzical look, you notice Superintendent Jarvis is sweating.
And I think that we're good with ending the scene.
Yeah, I think that's a great spot to cut that. All right, let's check in on the virtuous move here. When you have an intimate moment with another department head while one of you is acting in accordance with their virtue, You may each clear an appropriate condition. If you're not the department head acting virtuously, you may choose to either stumble onto a clue relevant to an active investigation and describe it, or reduce the severity of your fear condition by 1 stage. Neither of you have fear conditions, and I believe it didn't feel very diligent in there.
That is Dr. Imogen's virtue.
That's right. It's order. It also definitely didn't feel orderly though.
It was
Why?
very. I was using my virtue, technically speaking. Very accepting.
We got
Yeah.
the acceptance of
Just went
like,
right in there. Like, yeah.
it's
Uh-huh.
gonna be okay if nobody and yeah, hey, we're doing it all orderly, like all the paperwork's been fired. We're doing an intake meeting. We're making sure that everyone's in the right place and everything.
You know what? Fair enough. Well, who would like to be decreed as acting virtuously then? Who wants to do the clue making?
I would say it would be me because
Yeah.
like
Okay.
because I've been the one that's been filing out paperwork and whatnot.
All right. Then, Superintendent Jarvis, you may reduce no, not that. I just said you can't do that because you don't have one. I'm a fool. You can stumble onto a clue relevant to an active investigation. Describe it. It cannot conclusively answer a question by itself. And you can each clear an appropriate condition. I think seeing stars makes sense to be cleared since you already had that scene as well.
This is going to be a very weird clue. Because I think Superintendent Jarvis is kind of the clue.
Well,
I think-
Superintendent Jarvis makes the clue because you were acting virtuously.
Okay, that's okay. Never mind.
What was your idea though? Because I want to hear it.
He did say that you were sweating. I think like your sweat is like of an odd color, like a purple or something.
Oh, okay. All
Unless
right.
you want a different clue.
The meat sweats.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no, that's a great clue. We're gonna call that the meat. Jarvis has the meat sweats. And for the womb of the mother, I think.
That sounds pretty accurate. Yeah.
Jarvis has the meats. I crave. You know what? I crave meat.
Don't we all?
Oh god.
Damn.
You can clear someone has to do it as well.
I mean, someone does have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
God.
All right. Officer Lafayette, I think
Yeah.
I would like
sorry.
to have this brief scene here. If it's all right with you, General Gilbert Burns, we can go immediately into this next virtuous scene.
That's perfectly all right.
I think it makes the most sense because you had all kind of described that you were all going to be going out in one direction or another. So I think it makes sense that this is sort of in like the deployment bay or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a real thing. I just made it up.
Of course.
Well, I made this whole game up actually. So yeah, it's a real thing.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
no, so you see Officer Lafayette with his trench coat, a VHS, and but a machine, like a VHS, and he has you see the three caballeros in the way in the movie, and in his other hand he has a TV, small TV. And so he goes to General Gilbert Burns, who he considers he's a buddy, after all they've been before, he's and so, hey General,
Yes.
check with me this, please. And so he puts on, he starts turning on the VCR, the VHS, everything, and the Three Amigos starts to play. The Three Caballeros, sorry. And you see, I don't know if you're related with a Disney character called Jose Carioca. He was a Brazilian parrot. And what you see in the original is one parrot.
Yeah.
But in this version, there are two parrots, and he's not sure if those parrots are, is what he's seeing in his mind, or everyone sees the two parrots.
Mhm.
And so, come on, General Burns, tell me the truth. Am I going crazy? Is this name making my head like shit? I mean, I need to trust you. You need to tell me the truth. Are there two or one parrots? Are you seeing one parrot? Are you seeing two parrots? Please, buddy. No?
There's two parrots.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you're feeling distressed about this particular film, this could be an anomaly, and this needs to be contained.
Wait. So he handles out a copy of The Lion King,
Mhm.
and he changes. And
Where are you?
They're not singing Hakuna Matata. They're singing, come on, feel the noise. Girls, grab the boys. We'll get wild, wild, wild. Like, but the old Slade version, like of the 70s, the original one, you know? And are you listening that?
Yes, I'm hearing this. This should not be happening. Where did you get these tapes? Or do we need to employ another different investigation into these
You know, these ladies that I met in Disney Club gave them to me, and they said they were very special, but okay. So the first things first, I'm not losing my mind. You hear the Slade version of Come On Feel the Noise, and you see two parrots in the Three Caballeros.
Yes.
Right? Okay,
yes.
So I'm barely sane. Great. Thanks a lot for your help, General Burns.
Yeah. You seem to be very stressed. I would actually make sure that these end up in sort of a containment zone, just in case that they have any
whatever
other.
You want with them. Do whatever you want with them. I don't really care.
Okay.
Just as long as you hear the same things that I heard, and you've seen the things that I've seen. So I'm barely sane, and I'm sorry, but I smoke, you know. I used to not smoke, but it's a bad week for quitting smoke, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. And he says, do you have by any chance clonazepam?
No.
Anything. Xanax? Anything.
No.
I don't know.
I do have a knife.
No, that's not what I wanted. No. But you don't even have time to know what kind of place is this. I mean,
Well, I don't keep it on me.
Okay. No, you won't. You've been a great help. You've been a great help. Here all your stuff. Here you can take the VCR. Here you can take the TV. I don't want to see them anymore. So get all to the
I will take
anomalies.
I will take these, and I will just like pick them up under my arm. Have you taken any naps lately?
No. I haven't sleeping for like 36 hours.
You need to take a nap.
You're probably sure, but I have like 10 milligrams of clonazepam, and I haven't been able to sleep. So it's everything okay. I'm smoking 3 packets a day. So yeah, hell of a week to quit smoke. Sorry, to quit smoke. As Superintendent Adina Jarvis told me, pick a hell of a week to stop.
The General Burns is just thinking to himself, like, he has not seen this type of behavior before from any department heads. So this is just like very fascinating.
I love that. I think that's a pretty good spot to cut the scene. I think acceptance is definitely very much on detail here as well. You are both able to clear an appropriate condition, so you can clear House of Mouse. And the dancer does not get cleared yet.
No.
But you know, maybe when someone interacts with the meat parade, who knows? And Officer Lafayette also gets to describe a new clue for one of the active investigations.
Okay.
If you don't
So,
have an idea yet, you can go ahead and think on it. If you do, I would love to hear.
can I have it at some time later? Because I
Mhm.
wanna think
Yeah, no problem.
what investigation it would be most suitable.
You got it. So, next up, let's start off with Superintendent Jarvis and General Gilbert Burns at Mother's Beach. I think that the first thing the two of you notice is where you saw in the cell phone video those people trapped in that translucent membrane inside of the walls of the opening. You see not people, but like some of the buddies and maybe even some of the spider ponies being slowly pushed out of those cells. What do you do?
Should we have guns trained on them spider ponies?
I don't use guns.
All right, I'm just gonna have you trained on one of them spider ponies then, because I have seen up close and personal what those things did to a drone, and I don't want to be the drone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna talk to one of the buddies though that's coming out. You keep an eye on that spider pony, but I'm gonna talk to the buddy. We're gonna see what happens. I don't know. This seems like a lot of entities to be around.
Oh, it's a couple of them, that's for sure. And by the nature of your connection, you can kind of tell that there are more beneath you that you cannot see.
Oh darn.
But it's you don't know if they're hive-minded at least, so maybe it's better, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But you know a lot of things can understand you right now. That's for sure.
I take a step towards one of the buddies and say kind of loudly like, hello, I'm trying to talk to someone in charge, but I will settle for someone polite.
Oh, hello.
Hey there, little buddy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Nobody talked to me before. This is cool. Hi.
Yeah, I'm good at talking to folks. So I want to know. I want to know a little bit about you. Where'd you come from? How you doing? What's going on?
I came from the tree.
You came from the tree. Now, did you consider the tree the mother?
Yeah.
All right. That's. But you know what? That we've got something in common there. Now, you came from the tree. Do you know what the tree wants?
I would love the research move with presence or sensitivity, whichever one you would like. Or anomalous, not sensitivity. Wrong game. And also not presence, empathy. Still wrong game.
I will do anomalous. I will pull up the dice app real quick. Sorry.
No worries.
Go. Okay. That's a 10. That's a 10.
Awesome. All right. General Gilbert Burns, what are you doing as Superintendent Jarvis approaches one of these buddies? You can kind of hear them conversing, by the way, by the nature of Jarvis's ability. You can understand it as well while they're around.
Yeah. I'm not sure we're going to get too much out of these buddies per se, because like they're just one little creature and they're literally being born right now. However, if we climb down, well, then that will get more information. So I'm having my crew of clowns, effectively, and +1 brain blaster were effectively tying off like ropes and materials to like the beach and whatnot, making sure like we have a good anchor head, and we're going to like sort of propel down into the hole in the ground.
Excellent. I think I would like this to be a risk move first, to be able to do this without falling in and immediately getting got by the beastie, and then I'll have you make a research move after.
Mm-hmm. I'm afraid that the hole is just gonna, because like it's a fleshy thing, so like it can move and like it's just gonna crush us.
Yeah, it looks like it's breathing.
Mm-hmm. Very fun. And this is what?
I think this one has to be with anomalous.
Okay. Climb down. Ooh, just by the skin of my teeth, it's 7.
Excellent. Officer Lafayette, you are traveling in one of the probably like a van, effectively an armored van with all of your team members, and you're going to this thing that was advertised on the flyer that you found. It has someone evidently important to you that you don't know at all. And as you are traveling down the road, you see your containment specialist, Hartwig Smolak. He kind of gets like his nose scrunches a little bit, and he starts and he sneezes, and there is a slime mold made out of this red, filmy, meaty substance that spasms and dies on the ground after a few seconds. And Hartwig stares at it and then looks up and says, "Oh, well, I'm certainly glad that I have no ability to see whatever just came out of my nose." Hartwig is wearing a bright orange and yellow environmentally sealed ballistic weave suit and a black tie, as well as a very thick blindfold.
Okay, so do I have like a cup or something to grab it and a glove to put it?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, so I shut it and put it under. There must be some place in the van where it's biohazard, and I put it there.
I think your cybersecurity specialist holds out her hand and says, "Excuse me,
Okay.
I can open up a compartment within my chassis that can store this if you would like."
Yes,
She's
and can you
a
tell me
whole
what
robot,
it is?
by the way.
Okay.
She's fully an android. She has a crisp
Okay.
three-piece suit that has a circuit board pattern tie, a very like purposefully completely average build, and very thin semi-transparent membrane that vaguely resembles skin over top mechanical and electronic parts. So you can kind of see through her skin on the parts that aren't clothed, and it's just robot stuff. And she takes that and opens up a little compartment in where her rib cage would be, and just kind of puts it in there and then closes it.
Okay, so a couple of questions to her, One, can you tell me what it is? Can you analyze it?
I do not have the equipment available to scan biomass equipped currently. However, I can take it back to the research lab after the fact.
Okay.
I am fully environmentally and chemically sealed, so it will not escape.
Great. Can robots have sex? Just question. This new world is.
I think everyone except for her is staring at you in shock, and she just says, "If I had the parts designed."
Okay. So you have the party sign?
No.
Oh, okay. Just. I was feeling so lonely. Oh man, I miss New Orleans. It's like his tagline, you know. I miss New Orleans. And can I? Yeah, I'm getting. I'm just too much with Arena. This is just too much time with Arena. And can I set a clue? Can I say
Yeah,
my clue?
absolutely.
Are we near the festivities?
Yeah, I was about to have just after this narrate you
Okay.
getting out and finding the place.
Narrate so I can
You
my
got
clue.
So this is for Red Thumb, I believe. Yes. Yes. Let's grab these locations here. Excuse me. Thank you.
Oh.
You have made it to a strip mall, effectively.
Okay.
There are rows upon rows of land rich in products and advertisement, everything a growing consumer needs. I would like us all to paint the scene here. Well, us all, not including me, obviously. All the stores in this strip mall are largely empty, save for one, a locally owned herbal remedy store, all there for one thing, Peepaw's Panacea. What mutated plants go into making this remedy, and what does it do?
I think there is the sort of these mutated plants. They have like this waxy overcoating, and like it goes into this panacea quote quote. That they're like vitamin pills, but the waxiness is just how to encapsulate it, the medicine, so it goes down smoother.
We'll put the question here in the chat. I was just getting it typed out here. There we go.
I think that there are ground up roots from something that looked like it was once a carrot of some sort, but it's what's inside, or at least part of what's inside these pills. And the carrots, they grow really deep down, and they are an absolute blood red, that bleed when you cut them up. So you have to dry them out first before you grind them up and put the powder of that root into the thing. And I yeah, it's an aphrodisiac. That's also that's the other part.
So you see this sort of cosplay plant that it's supposed to be Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, but you don't know if it's a hybrid of a man, or it's a plant, or it's a cosplay, but gradually it goes moving and moving and moving, stretching, but just an inch, little by little. So we don't see that. If you can only see it if you stare at it like for for like a minute or two, but everyone doesn't pay attention. Just sort of hybrid between with Richards and the plants.
Nice. Wow, that's awful, and I love it so much. Why are they cutting up this man and making other plant men? Love that for wow, great. So you arrive in your unmarked van in this strip mall that was advertised, and you see the line of people at Peepaws. And looking at the flyer, you see, yeah, this is the place. There doesn't seem to be anything set up other than this one store, however. What do you do?
Okay. Before can I say the clue?
Please.
So as he's entering, as it's for the for this let me see which for Red Thumb is the clue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Officer Lafayette decides to enter with his crew, but he doesn't see that right next to him there's this like Jose Carioca dress and this Donald Duck from the Free Caballeros. He doesn't see them, but they're like right in front of him, and that's the clue.
Excellent. So what do you do? And your cronies are all immediately kind of starting to disperse to go and check out individual things and see what's going on with, there's some people going over to stand in line at Peepaws to see what that's about. There are other people just interviewing some of the folks in line, things like that. What are you getting up to?
Since Lafayette is in his own private Idaho, he goes in and starts searching for Sandy.
I would like the research move with Anomalous, please.
So it's free and the highest.
So you don't have any conditions. So
no,
unless you want to mark you can mark something from your office to get advantage, at which point you would roll 3 and keep the 2 highest, or you can roll 2 dice and then just add your score. That would be the regular roll.
Can I cross let me see. Can I put a mask?
You can after the roll happens.
Okay. So let me see what I have. Well, I have this this gift from Dr. Imogen, my New Orleans globe that gives me confidence,
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the things that gives me that gives me not crazy. So I have it.
Keeps you grounded. Yeah.
Keeps me grounded. Yeah. So
Okay.
3 dice.
Yeah. So go ahead and mark that. And you can roll with 3 dice plus your anomalous score, which is 0. So 3 dice and keep the 2 highest.
I had 6. So I'm using
boy.
the mask.
We'll get to that here in a moment.
Okay.
General. I want to go back to Superintendent Jarvis first, I think, actually. Remind me, what did you get? You got a 10 plus, correct?
I got a 10, correct.
So this was the research move. On a hit, you find a clue, and I will tell you what it is. So you ask this buddy what the tree wants, correct?
Yep.
All right. Scroll. You see it kind of like it just kind of sits down. You can't really see its 4 legs when it does so. It just kind of looks like its legs sink into itself as it sits, and you can tell it's thinking and pondering real hard. And it says,
I don't know. But there's a cool thing that I found in there in Mama, and she said I could keep it, so I'm gonna give it to you because I don't know what to say otherwise. Come over here. I buried it in the dirt.
And it sits up and starts waddling over and picks up like mouthfuls of sand and spits it out. And eventually you find in that, the sand of the beach, there is a which one do I want to go for here? I think you find a Bigfoot skull.
Okay.
And it says,
I found that in there, and Mama gave it to me. You could have it. I don't need to use it.
you can also, it is a clue, but you also get to add it to your office.
Oh, I'm gonna keep that Bigfoot skull.
Yeah. So it is both a clue and an office item.
That's so great. That is an incredible skull you found inside your mama.
Right? I thought it was pretty cool.
It's pretty. No, that you're absolutely right. That's very cool. Do you know what it's from? I mean, it looks like.
I don't know, The Office, maybe?
I mean, it looks like a Bigfoot skull, but
That's not a foot. That's a skull. That's a head.
oh, I think it's the head of a creature we call a Bigfoot.
Oh, does it got big foot on it?
I think the foot part of the creature does, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, do you think we could talk to Mother like directly? Would we need to go inside? Do you think we need to go inside?
I don't know. She don't talk much.
Well then, how do y'all know what to do? Because I've seen little buddies like you before. I haven't had a chance to talk to any of them. But
Well, how do you know how to walk?
I had to learn. It took me a long while.
Yeah. You just kind of wander around to figure it out.
Well, how do y'all wander around and figure out the same like parade pattern? Because we see y'all having a grand old time at the parties there, and parading around town in specific patterns.
Oh, I don't know why they do that.
Oh, would you mind if you know what, I'm gonna give you a present in exchange for this skull. Yeah. I want you to hold onto this and then speak your thoughts into it, like as you go. And I'm gonna give it a like a tape recorder kind of thing that also has a GPS tracker with it. And it's just like, I want you, as you're figuring stuff out, I want you to like just kind of go through your thought processes. I want you to, just kind of give us what you're thinking when you talk to any of your other little buddies and you decide, hey, let's go in here for the party. Let's go and do the little parade. Would you, just talk about it? I want to get to know you. And in exchange, I will come back and tell you about my time because I'm going to go and try and talk to Mother.
Wow. An interview.
Yeah.
You're going places.
What was your name again? Zakathor?
Yeah.
You know what, Zakathor? My name is Superintendent Arena Jarvis. And I'm giving you that one for free. Usually I know that it's bad form to hand out your true name to just whatever entity comes around all willy-nilly, but
is it? My name is Tim, then.
Yeah, I got you, Tim Wank. Yeah.
General Burns.
Going down.
You got a 7, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So this is the on the risk move here. So I will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable. You can choose to back down or go through with it. I think that what will happen here is your maniacal jester crew are just going to get too caught up in clowning around, and all of them are going to pop, and you're not going to be able to really utilize them.
Oh no. It's just gonna be me and Brain Blaster.
Just you and Angus, the weird bean guy.
Yeah, me and Angus. Oh, if that's how it's gotta be, that's how it's gotta be.
Excellent. So you see as these, I imagine they're basically just like rope ladders, start getting flung over the edge. And every couple times you turn around, you see one person throwing over a rope ladder. You turn back around, that person is now being thrown over the edge by a rope ladder being held by another person, and so on and so forth. And they just kind of keep doing that for some reason. And they're all laughing maniacally the entire time as these clowns just continuously pop into plush organs and confetti that just roll down into the womb.
Oh,
And
there they go.
and so they count as dead, but they come back because they're
Yeah.
weird little plush clown guys. So they're
We
dead.
We have tried to kill them before. It has not worked out.
No, it hasn't. And Angus, in your mind, you just feel him say, why do we keep bringing them?
They're a little bit hardier. So when they do die, unfortunately, they just come back. Like it allows us to like learn about where to not step or what not to do. Sometimes that's to their own shenanigans that they just end up wasting things, unfortunately.
It's always so jarring for me going from having all of these consciousnesses to tap into to not anymore because they've just decided to explode for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I hate being in one of their consciousnesses when that happens too. That's always the worst. When I'm like talking to one and they decide to just explode, that hurts my head a little bit. I get a brain ache in my left hemisphere of my second brain.
I'm surprised that it doesn't like hurt themselves when they do it. They say it's like falling down on like a bunch of pillows. Just weird. I think it would have hurt more.
Odd fellows. Oh, well, would you look at that? And you see Angus kind of point one of the big, long appendages. They're not necessarily tentacles because they have bones in them and they articulate, but they articulate smooth enough to the point where you would think that they might be tentacles, if that makes sense.
I just imagine a bunch of like hands and limbs.
Yeah. He just kind of points inside of the opening and you see two of the spider ponies inside there, like fighting one another for whatever reason. And eventually one just clobbers the other in the head with its spike tail and it goes down and starts absorbing back into the womb and it just acts like nothing happened. That's your clue.
Why did I get a clue? Was it just for free?
Because I forgot that you did the risk move and not the research move, okay?
I will take the clue.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. That's why. Officer Lafayette, you're 6 here on the. You were also doing the research move, correct? So what happens first before you file any paperwork is as soon as you step out of the vehicle. All of your team members already had and began doing their own thing, and nothing really of note happened. But as soon as your shoe touches the pavement in this strip mall, every single one of the patrons turns their head to look at you immediately. And they all say in unison, in the voice that's been haunting your dreams, "What took you so long?" Unless you want to file paperwork.
I thought that would.
Excellent. So you can either file some of the personal paperwork on your sheet. There's also, since you are interacting with Red Thumb, you can use the incident report for that one as well, which is called SO. Or you can mark your resume or
I
a
mark-
wellness and safety review.
I'll mark my resume.
Excellent. Do you want to narrate that now, or would you like a little bit of time?
No, I can narrate it. So, narrate a flashback to when you decided to dedicate your life to the anomalies. Okay. So it was like we can say 10 years ago. I don't know how much that fight has been here, but maybe, yeah, you can say 10 years, and he's been moving from center to center, right? But before he was a private eye. He learned that he wouldn't be a cop because he wasn't he wasn't with the law. Law wasn't what he thought he was in the police department. So there's one night he has this phone call, and they tell him his brother has disappeared, you know, and they find their body lying on the Mississippi. And so then we cut to the funeral. And after the funeral, you see him walking, and there's a man with a black tie and a black suit, and he says, "Mr. Lafayette." He doesn't know who it is, and he tells him, "Your brother didn't commit suicide." And that's how we get to see the start of his career in Psalm 42.
Excellent. That's an interesting way. I haven't seen someone use a veil as a storytelling mechanic before in the narrative. That's really impressive. I'm very impressed that
Thank
you
you.
just did that. Wow. All right. Neat. All right. So instead, what happens is as you walk out of the car, you're just doing some very basic walking around. You see someone who is walking back out from the herbal remedy shop. You catch them searching something in their phone's history or in their phone. All that it says is meat plant care guide. That's your clue. For
Okay.
for the clue for Red Thumb. Someone's
Mhm.
search history that says meat plant care guide. And your complication here is that as you begin, you said you were going into the store itself, correct? Once you cross into the store, it's as if you've entered somewhere that is similar but not quite the same, because from the outside, the store looks very well stocked, furnished, clean, but inside of it, it is almost pitch black. It is incredibly dark in here. And the only light is coming from a candle lit at the end of the checkout counter. And you can barely see a figure sitting at the other side. You can't make out any details of them. I would like the fright move here, as you are now facing your fear.
Okay. So
Which says
yeah.
when you interact with an anomaly, anomalous phenomena, or face something frightening, name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve.
I'll think I'll see Sandy and my head will start going apart and I have a mental breakdown.
It's worse than that. You'll remember Sandy. Do you want to go through with this, or do you want to escape from the plant store while you still can?
Lafayette goes all the way.
Awesome. You can roll with anomalous, or you can roll with willpower -1, both of which are at 0 for you. So I would suggest rolling with anomalous.
Okay. So 2 dices.
Mm-hmm.
7.
Excellent.
Barely there.
Superintendent Jarvis, what are you up to now that your little Tim has started wandering around and talking into this little device that I've imagined just kind of taped to the side of its head because it doesn't have hands?
Yeah, just kind of like
Like a
wedged
cell
it right in
phone.
there, just like right in the side there. Hope it doesn't fall out. I think I am I'm gonna go over to where Burns' team descended and everything, and kind of look at their progress, as well as I'm keeping an eye on the spider ponies and thinking maybe I want to talk to one of them. That seems dangerous and like a bad idea. So maybe it's probably a good thing to do.
Yeah, that's pretty solid reasoning for this job, I would say.
So just like as I'm kind of looking over the edge, I think there's a spider pony that's like half emerged that kind of notices my movements, and I say, "Whoa, easy there. I ain't here to hurt nobody. I ain't here to hurt you. I ain't here to hurt mother.
Well, that's good.
So you don't need to hurt me, right?"
Nope, not unless you try and fuck with one of the little ones.
Oh no, them little buddies are so sweet. I actually was well, okay. I had a pleasant conversation with one. That doesn't count as bothering them, right?
No, he seemed to like you well enough.
Yeah, Zakathor. What a little sweetheart. Absolutely, what a little sweet. And what's your name?
Oh, I just call myself Harold.
Harold. Is that Harold as Harold, or is that Harold as in like I am the Herald of the end times, Herald?
I don't know how to spell.
Yeah, well, okay. You know that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I should have. That's on me. That's on me. So my name's Superintendent. You can just call me Superintendent.
All right.
So I got a question here. We want to help the mother get what she needs.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, so I was wondering, we have noticed this whole theme of decay and death and rebirth, things dying, returning to the soil, growing, being born from the ground, and now we've got the mother's womb and everything. We done set up a shrine. I don't know if y'all notice or have talked about that with. In fact, I don't even know if y'all can talk to each other. What's going on there?
Oh, we talk. Just not often. Some of us are more annoying than the others.
Man, that is just like my office. I tell you what. I tell you what.
I think I'd like another research move with empathy or anomalous, either of your choice.
We'll do.
I think they're
We'll
the same
do-
score for you.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same either way for me. So I'm just like, does the flavor matter? I'm gonna do anomalous. I'm talking meat monster right now. So
Yeah.
oh, that's a 13.
Whew. Dang. That makes me happy. All right.
All right, Harold, why don't you just lay this whole thing on out for me? Just tell me exactly what we got to do, contain it, do bullet points for me.
General Gilbert Burns. You didn't have a role in the air, did you?
No, I just got a clue, and I was like, there was this creature that the horse pony, spider pony thing killed another one of its kind.
Arena Jarvis is now talking to the victor of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
can hear Harold, evidently, as well.
Yeah, I imagine.
Via the nature of the core move.
Have I reached the bottom yet? Or is it there's still like further down
So-
to go?
The thing about this is that it kind of angles itself downward at a slant. So the rope ladders kind of just like are at this point like trailing down alongside the way that the slope goes. So it's mostly just like you're laying out little rungs inside of a meat thing instead of going down into a thing, if that makes sense. Which
Yeah.
it probably doesn't. That was a very bad job of describing, but
We're going in. So basically, it goes down and then it slants outward.
yeah,
So basically, like we could stand up and start walking at this point.
correct. If it wasn't for the fact that it would probably do gross stuff for you as established in the presenting the investigation,
Yeah.
which is why you need to figure out how to make it not do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that as the I'm gonna go ahead and do the paint the scene and stuff for it now, since it makes sense.
Yeah.
The slick folds of flesh beneath the rungs of these rope ladders squelch and squish into itself as these rungs press into it, and they secrete a viscous fluid as it does so. The opening is all that's visible on the surface here, and it's angled at a downward slope. Let's paint the scene. What are some lost items trapped within the folds of flesh?
I think we see a lot of chewing gum already chew all over in different versions, like mint, like coconut, like strawberry, but all this. So if you were like normal and you could grab it, and I don't know what would happen, but you could chew bubblegum, and you could make bubbles. I don't know, maybe there comes like little meat guys or something like that.
It's just little buddies blowing bubbles with bubblegum.
I imagine it's just very beach stuff, like a deflated beach ball.
There are several unopened gallons of milk that are weeks past their sell-by date. And they have not curdled or done anything horrible at all. They're just there, possibly preserved, possibly become a part of the mother. It's not clear.
Yeah. Is the mother producing milk?
And then
Who
bottling
knows?
it.
That is what you're seeing as you peer into this, checking on your progress. What do you do?
I'm wondering if I could get a little bit closer to the milk bottles because that's very suspicious.
I'm going to have you make the fright move if you want to try and grab one of those because they are within and you are without protective equipment.
Mm-hmm.
What are you afraid will happen if you fail?
That's the milk bottles are just a trap, and that it's just gonna pull me in.
Milk bait. Is worse than that. You will meet who or whatever put the milk bottles there.
Mm.
Do you want to continue?
Yeah.
You can roll with anomalous or vitality -1. Physicality -1.
I'll roll with anomalous. That's an 8.
Excellent. Officer Lafayette. Remind me, you got a 10 on your
No, I got a 7.
7. That's right.
And I had a complication.
So you're able to keep your cool here in this moment and you're not just immediately panic and flee. But you are going to take a fear condition here, and it's going to be called the darkness of Peepaw. As you see the figure shrouded in darkness behind the candlelight, you see them get closer, but only part of them gets closer. It's as if you're seeing the head move closer and closer to you without the rest of the body following. And eventually you're able to make out the face of this person. And it looks almost exactly like Ellis from Ellis's Pantry, but clearly not exactly correct. And this thing says, "Would you like some of my elixir?"
The first thing he does, Lafayette, is he's near the candle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he takes out a cigarette and he lights it with the candle. And he goes to the, he blows all his smoke to that thing that is, no, I would like to speak with Sandy.
I would like the research move with anomalous or empathy here, -1. So either way, you'll be rolling with a +0.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you roll that at disadvantage because of the darkness of Peepaw. So roll 3 and take the 2 lowest, unless you would like to mark an item in your office to get rid of that disadvantage.
The lowest is 5, and I got 2 6. I got 12. Yeah.
All right. So an 11 total then at your disadvantage because one of them is a 5, correct?
Oh yeah. Right.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
This is pretty good.
Oh, 111, right? You were right. Yeah. Yes. So yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Superintendent Jarvis. Did you have a roll up in the air?
Yes, I had that 13.
That's right, the
after-
13 on the research move, huh?
Yep.
All right. Harold looks at you and remind me, what was the precise question you had asked?
The question, oh gosh.
Or
It-
I guess
oh.
like the train of thought that you were trying to lead it down is probably more
Yeah.
correct.
The train of thought was kind of in the vein of like, what does mother want? How is it communicating with, like, y'all talk to each other, but like how, how is that, and what could we do? I think it was, what could we do to talk to the mother, I think is actually the kind of question that I was headed towards.
That makes sense. I think that you see Harold consider it for a moment, and he starts moving and shifting and climbing out of this meat that he was just kind of chilling and taking point as sentry, and gets up. All of this gristle and viscera kind of sloughs off of him as he maneuvers, and it kind of folds back into itself, kind of like dirt would. And right beneath it, and Harold kind of kicks it up to you with its spiked tail. He says, "Be careful now. You're not going to want to be in the way when I send it up." And he flings a piece of sheet metal at you. Rather toward you, but it's kind of at, because he's not very, it's a big ball with spikes on it. You kind of get what you can take as far as aiming. But it's a piece of sheet metal that has scripture scratched into it.
Dang, nice.
And it says, "These are around there sometimes, and every once in a while, one of us knows what it means."
And where did you find this one?
I was sitting on it.
Oh, just right here. Okay, all right. So like just around.
I found it, and I decided I wanted to sit here.
You know what? That sounds like divine providence to me. When you find a sheet metal inscribed with scripture, you sit your butt down on it. That's what my mom always used to tell me.
Mine too.
You know what? We are so alike, Harold. We are so. I feel a connection here. I don't know if you're feeling it as well.
And per the rules of the research move, on a 12 plus here, we'll read that out. You also find a star clue, which I will remind you all that star clues are clues that you can use while answering a question, and they can be used for any question, for any investigation, as long as you're able to work them in.
Oh, nice.
The ones that you have currently are a postcard with Director Star's face plastered in the corner that says, "Come to sunny Atlantis." You have the moment that Site Director Star's eyes glazed over and roots shot out from his feet and dug into the ground, and then he was fine a few moments after, just kind of pensive about it. And Director Star speaking with Heartboil out of the corner of Gilbert's eye that one time. Those are the ones that you have currently. Just as a reminder, your new one here is this piece of scripture. You notice that kind of on the other side of that piece of sheet metal, rather, it's also inscribed. It's inscribed on both sides. One side is the scripture, but the other side is what seems to be a news article that details a man in a yellow pinstripe suit saving a family from a giant earthworm made out of CB radios.
Well, you know what? I think I know exactly who this is talking about. I think this is my boss. Harold, I think this is my boss.
Your boss is my mom.
Oh, no. On the other side, there was with the earthworm with the CV radios and the guy in the pinstripe. You know what?
Oh, I don't know
Are-
nothing about that. I just saw the front.
you know what? Yeah, maybe you'll meet him sometime. That'd be fun. That is a question. How long do y'all stick around? Like, are we, you know,
Dunno. Didn't quite get a quota or a schedule when I was born.
you know what? I feel that. I absolutely
Just kind of
feel
wandered
that.
around, and then I turned into a big old guy with a ball on my head.
Yeah,
Not my head, on my tail.
on your,
Close enough.
you know what? I get those things mixed up too.
Right?
Get
It's
mixed
so
up.
confusing. They're on like kind of like the opposite sides. And sometimes I walk with the tail forward because I have to be all intimidating. And so I get confused.
Yeah. So what's up with I don't know if y'all are siblings or I've seen one that has like a mouth like a wood chipper. Uh, what's the deal with them? Do you know them?
There's a couple of them, yeah. They're pretty swell.
Yeah, we had one. In fact, we and this is on us. We made assumptions. We had one try to eat somebody, and we caught it and stopped it from eating someone. I hadn't had a chance to talk to it yet, though, and I'm the only one who can talk to everybody, which is ain't that always the way. I'm the one talking to all the people and fixing all the problems and unclogging all the toilets and getting all
So
that.
it didn't get to eat, though.
No, it didn't. Yeah, is that an issue? Is that a problem?
It's probably hungry.
Oh, I would say that is probably true. Um,
You're not one of the things that it likes to eat, are you?
I don't know. What are the things that it like people, humans,
I mean, they kind of look like you. Yeah. Just in
ruggedly,
general.
ruggedly handsome with delicate features at the same time. Ruggedly delicate.
Pink and soft.
Oh yeah, pink and soft. That's done
Kind
with
of like us, but we have this ossified shit all on us, so it's less soft and more just pink and like hard and slimy.
Yeah, I got the hard and slimy parts on the inside. Like spine. I don't know if you know what spine is. We got spine.
I'm learning so much today.
You know what? This is a meeting of the minds.
General Gilbert Burns. You got, what was your role here?
An
I know-
8.
That's right. Okay, good.
And this was the investigation move.
Gotcha. I think that so you were going down to try and grab some of those milk jugs, correct?
Yes.
As you go down in rather just kind of well, yes, you do go
Wait,
down in fact in this
wait,
thing.
What? Wait, I just remember it was an 8 on the fright move.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So you do it, but there is a complication or cost. I think that you go in and you grab one of these milk jugs, and nothing really comes of that in and of itself. But as you are setting foot here in this place for the first time, you feel the womb quivering as you are inside it. And there is a localized earthquake happening on Mother's Beach and inside itself right now as a result of this quivering. And I think that you lose your footing for a moment, and part of just one of your feet gets falls off of one of the rungs and touches the womb unprotected. And I think I'm going to give you the condition bulbous growths.
Oh no.
Unless you would like to file paperwork.
I'm gonna file paperwork. Oh, this leads me to a very good question. Does this investigation have a incident report?
It does. I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Where are come on now.
Wait, there we go.
There it
Found
is, yeah. Caregiver incident. That one says that each department head narrates a flashback to a time they cared for and looked after something that they shouldn't have.
Oh, that's too good not to pick.
All right. So everyone should start thinking about that. Instead, what happens is you get to describe what happens because it's a 10 plus now.
Like, I think as like I'm sort of leaning over and grabbing the milk bottle, like it sort of almost sticks to my hand, and then I pull it out with a slurp, and for some reason the bottle's just very sticky. It's gross, but like I'm fine.
I think this is probably worse than taking a condition, actually, but I would like, you can go ahead and add sticky milk to your office.
I guess.
And
It's not even sticky milk bottle, it's sticky milk.
uh-huh. The milk sweats. So, Officer Lafayette, what did you have a role in the air? I think you did, right? You got a 11, correct?
11, correct. Yeah, right.
On the research move for Red Thumb. I think that as you ask this question, staring into this person, into whatever it is, this thing's eyes, it smiles and says, "There are dozens of roots growing beneath your mattress, Officer Lafayette. You should take care of that." And the face retreats back into the darkness. That is your clue. Apparently, you've had roots growing beneath where you sleep.
Okay. So how many people are in I'm gonna do something really, really stupid, but it's something that Lafayette would do. I'm gonna set on fire the place.
Nice.
He can't take this anymore. I mean, he has to explode somewhere, you know, it's on the verge of something. I don't fucking care about everything. I'm gonna blow this place up. And he tells all his lieutenants, his commanders, his subordinates, burn this fucking place the hell up now.
Hell yeah. I think we can just say that pretty much happens because you have a bunch of people here. And I think it's more interesting if we cut to the break phase now. So after we resolve the break phase, I'm gonna say that we can go ahead and take a quick break. But first, do we have any moves that are resolved during the break phase? I don't believe so. And except for the field headquarters, but I don't know that you're gonna want to relocate so soon or not.
We're not relocating quite yet.
Gotcha. In that case, I don't imagine you're going to be studying a case file tonight, since it seems like you're all pretty invested in being on site this time.
Yeah.
And while it can be done at any time, the break phase is a great opportunity for you all to answer a question, which would be very helpful for you to be able to do further investigation into this womb mystery, as you'll be able to actually start getting in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would just like recommend like thinking on it for like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Because like
We're gonna
I
go
don't
to
have
we're gonna go to
yeah.
break for about 10 minutes here shortly.
Steph, I'm gotta go, because I
No
have
worries.
Yeah.
a schedule. So if you wanna do some stars and wishes, it's
Mhm.
okay, and I can
Yeah.
go or not.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do your stars and wishes here quickly then.
No, well, my stars to you because you have managed the dark humor and terror in this episode great, and giving me so space to work with Lafayette. It's a character that has been growing for me since I was telling you off the record of recording that I'm an old school player and I'm not used to, but I'm having lots of fun. And thanks, really love the scene with General Gilbert Burns, the closest scene, and I really had a laugh with Superintendent Jarvis. I always laugh with his sense of humor and his sexually humor, meat, whatever. So that's for me. Thanks all, and I'll be seeing you next Monday, and I can play the whole session because now that I'm rescheduled.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta give a star for Lafayette for that conversation with his android employee. Like, I did not expect that out of Lafayette. I would have expected that out of Jarvis. So, like,
But he was just curious, He's like
yeah,
curious.
yeah. So, like that. Again, I really like the virtuous moves there today. Just to see like everybody's different perspectives on things. Of like General Burns goes to Jarvis to like get support, whereas Officer Lafayette goes to Burns to get support. So that's like a very interesting dynamic. Also, God, the haunted Mickey Mouse stuff is just terrifying, and I didn't expect that. Like, there's a lot of things going on, lots of callbacks to various things from like the awful milk to literally Donald Duck. There's a lot of birds. So like that's really cool. I feel like there's something going on that we're not seeing quite yet, but I'm very excited to like find out and stuff. Oh, this is such a good game. I too also forget the names of the stats. Like they're good names, but I keep on forgetting.
I wanted to
Go
give
for
a
it.
star real quick to Lafayette because like there was a moment where that I think just kind of encapsulates Lafayette, where you had the chance to back out of something, and you said it like this perfect tone, just no, Lafayette goes all the way. And I was just like, yeah, Lafayette goes all the way. And it was such a good moment because it perfectly encapsulates the character who's totally losing it and is totally invested and that was a great moment out of a lot of great moments. Like especially the moment that like and I guess this is a star for Steph as well, but like the thing is the thing of it's worse than that. You're actually going to remember Sandy if this goes sideways. And I absolutely lost it. It was so perfect. And like it those moments are happening because of everyone at the table, and that's so wonderful. I love the sense that Lafayette has brought to everything of just someone completely out of their genre. Like, and I think we've said this before, but like Lafayette is supposed to be a noir detective who is here with the freaks and geeks and and also sleeping on a bed of roots. So
Yeah. So sorry, the part where you said you're gonna see Sandy, it's worse than that. It was like the best is worse than that I ever played from a long time. You're right.
Yeah, fully agreed. I had a lot of fun interacting and playing around with Lafayette's very complex set of things going on with him at any given moment. I especially loved the very small, subtle bit of like, yeah, he knows that he's out of his depth and losing it, so he is focusing specifically on the one thing that he has to keep him grounded, and that even though that one thing was also literally given to him by someone who is objectively weirder and more head over heels involved with all of this weird shit, but still being able to find that thing and use it as a grounding method is very telling for him as like for his emotional state, if that makes sense. Like it really gets a clear picture of the things that are going on inside his head and how he deals with the stress that he deals with. I'm very excited to continue to explore that, and I'm also excited that I got your fear condition in there finally. I was like, "Ooh, this is too perfect." So I'm excited to uh, see that get worse. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for all of you guys, and I'll be seeing you next Monday. Full game completely. Yeah, right. I got my schedule free. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice time. I'll see you on YouTube. Bye, bye, bye.
All right. So if you two would like, I'd be happy to continue the remainder of the session, the two of you, or we can, we can go on the 10-minute break and you can think about the question, or we can call it a little bit early today. Either one is fine by me.
I'm good to keep going. And I do think that the 10-minute break could be good, but I'm free to keep going till 2:30.
I'm free to keep going as well. It's more or less whether or not you would like to run with just two people, because I know in certain CFB it's a little bit harder.
Well, two people, I found that I can manage 2 to 4 players fairly well and consistently when I'm running. I cannot do 5.
Okay.
But I can handle 2 pretty all right.
All right.
So yeah, we will go ahead and take 10. You can think about the clues that you have for the womb of the mother, as well as the prompt and opportunity that it unlocks. So you can come up with a pretty good, good little theory. You'll be able to get a +2 if you use all of the clues that you have so far, which is pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording now. Welcome back. So I believe we're going to theorize on the threshold question for the womb of the mother here. As a reminder, the clues that we currently have are Jarvis having the meat sweats, the Bigfoot skull found in the sand, spider ponies don't get along and fight each other, and sheet metal with scripture marked on it.
I do have a theory.
And the question is, why does the womb have the effect that it does on living creatures?
Because I was thinking about that, why we kept on finding strange things within the womb or in surrounding area, because like that's just weird. It's stuff that we do want. Like the milk bottles, the Bigfoot skull, the weird sheet metal with scripture on it. Even Jarvis's meat sweats is relevant because like Jarvis wants weird things.
Jarvis has needs and desires, and oh, okay, so it is definitely related to desire and everything. I think that so the womb has the effect it has on living creatures because it is desperate to give them what it want or what they want. Maybe.
Maybe. Or it's trying to lure people in to get what it wants from people. Because, like, people have been falling into this womb and then monsters are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the meat sweats being like I like the desire aspect. How do we work in the spider ponies not getting along? Like
I think it's more or less like the spider ponies, that's a little bit an odd one because, like, I think it's just that these are transformed people.
Mhm.
And like they're in this weird form and they're not really sure what's going on. And like I think it's like partially they have the memories of their past life, but it gets erased afterwards, as per the sort of situation of like not being able to spell Herald, but still using very common human names for themselves.
other than Zakathor.
Yes.
Or hang on. What was it? I wrote it down. Yeah, Zakathor.
Zakathor. But that honestly sounds like a comic book character.
It does.
So this could be like a comic book fan remembering their favorite superhero or whatever. So I think it's just literally it's a psychic trap where it like lures us in with what our deepest darkest desires are.
I think I want to try and bring in the star clue that we got as well about the giant earthworm made of radios. I think that like that is part of exactly what you just said, like that that there is like a psychic resonance almost thing that's going on that is trying to lure people in, and I think that's possibly part of how we counter it a little bit because we have this we need to have a different kind of psychic resonance that either amplifies our desires to be like good to go into the mother. Like the mother's all like, I know what your desires are and I'm gonna make it safe for you to come in now.
Mm-hmm.
Or just to like block out. I don't know. I kind of there's an idea there, but not a real strong thought.
Yeah, like I think like in general, in terms of like the equipment, we have like anti-psychic technology because like we have psychic technology obviously with use arena, like because like you can literally translate anything as long as people are in the same room as you.
Mm-hmm.
But God, just the idea of like desires being projected outward so strongly that it counteracts things, that's gonna be pretty weird with like all of us in the same room because then we get to know what each other wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
This sounds great for a capstone investigation to me. I love this theory. I think that's fucking great. So including the star clue, you can roll this at a +3, whoever would like to.
I will roll it. I'm feeling.
You're feeling lucky.
I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 9 + 3 is 12.
Ooh. Wow. On a 12 plus on answer a question, site director Star will appear while you're pursuing the opportunity.
Oh,
I don't.
Is that a good? Why is that a good thing?
It's an interesting thing. Let's not. Now, site director Star gets to know what we want in life. Oh God.
And you get to know what he wants.
Oh no.
You know, it's always good to know what the other person wants.
Communication.
It's all about facilitating communication.
All right. So that is correct. You're now able to traverse the womb. Go ahead and add. I would love to know what this personal protective equipment looks like.
God, I personally just think of it as like one of those whites, like anti-radiation suits. That's just in my brain, so like we don't touch like the meaty flesh.
Yeah, I think it's like that, but it's got almost not as big and bulky as like a Ghostbusters power pack on the back, but like there is a small psychic generator machine that is um, plugged into our psychic field somehow. Either there are wires coming in and out of it. We don't know where the wires start and end, but it works.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right. So you can add the personal protective equipment to your office. I will add that to those who are not here currently. Just shorten it to womb PPE.
Wow.
God, I can make a joke here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
The secret
Burns.
is that I just really, really, really like the acronym, and so I wanted to include it in any way that I possibly could.
Hey, Burns. How do you spell prophylactic?
Hmm.
Wait, is that the right word? Oh, well, sorry. I mean, it's not wrong. But it's not exactly what I was. Never mind. We can edit this part out of the video, right? We can edit this embarrassing.
Yeah, I do so much editing for these.
I think I with how many times womb, meat, flesh, sticky milk have been mentioned this episode, I think at this point I don't think people are gonna care.
Yeah, there's either no one watching or everyone watching.
But they're either too shocked to watch this, or they're weirdos like we are.
Yeah, or too shocked to stop watching.
Yeah, it's
like a train wreck.
A special kind of train wreck. Wow, that should go on Arena Jarvis's tombstone.
Excellent.
Arena Jarvis. They were a special kind of train wreck.
Okay, so now the fourth step here in our break phase, we resolve paperwork prompts that remain unresolved. We can choose to wait until later, and this is the end of the session, which it probably will be. We're getting close to time. I figure we'll probably finish up the break phase and do the introductions of the upcoming testing phase and move on to the rest of Stars and Wishes. So there are, I believe both of you owe the investigation, the incident report, if you have that prepared.
Yeah.
Or even if you don't, you still owe it.
Yeah.
To be clear.
So it's a flashback to a time we cared for something or looked after something we shouldn't have.
Yeah. Each department head narrates that a time that they, a flashback to a time they cared for and looked after something that they should not have.
I think I'll go first. Honestly speaking, it was a little bit of an accident. Like there were, it was the grocery store that we had. Like I brought my own sort of carry-on bags and whatnots, and like various like baskets and whatnot, because I don't like how the sort of the texture of the wire baskets feel. I always feel like they're just gonna break under my hands, and I may have or may not have been banned from taking any because I have broken some in the past. So we don't worry about that. And I may have picked up a basket that didn't belong to me. It was fine. Like the police who showed up at my house later on were very polite. They only shouted a couple times to put my hands up where they could see them, because I accidentally took a baby home from the grocery store. Like I think like the baby was all right. There was already a bottle in the, sort of the bassinets and whatnot. It was perfectly all right. The mother received the child back. Just everybody was super mad at me afterwards. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't think so.
That tracks.
I think, let's think. Superintendent Jarvis has been able to talk to things that they shouldn't be able to talk to for a very long time. And there was a time where they brought home and nurtured an idea that probably should not have gotten power to go out into the world. And they don't exactly remember what this idea was, but they spent so much time talking to it and fleshing it out and feeding it other ideas in their own head, that there came a time where finally this idea was ready and said, Arena, I'm moving out. And Arena was like, I don't want to be alone in my head anymore. And the idea, the concept said, oh, you'll always have something. You know what? Here, I will leave a piece of myself behind. Something that you can't forget. And Arena said, this is just it's not enough. I need you to stay. I fed you. I sheltered you. I care about you a great deal. And the idea said, but my time has come. I am an idea whose time has come. And it's time to let me go. And so Arena called into a late night radio station and spoke the idea out into the world, and now doesn't really remember any of it or most of it, but feels that there is an idea there still keeping them company in the back of their head. And hey, now anyone who listened to that broadcast has the idea too.
I'm so scared. So scared.
I love
That's what I was going for. Yes.
This is great.
Not at all what I was expecting.
This is exactly the kind of thing that I hoped for when I wrote that question. Thank you very much for seeing the little vaguity and being like, you mean anything? Because I do. All right. Next up, I present a sun paint the scene question. And I think for this one, because they have been mentioned in the previous case file, we're going to do the Shattered Moon movement paint the scene here. The Shattered Moon movement is a group dedicated to retrieving anomalous entities, much like Sun. Unlike Sun, however, they do this so that they can sacrifice the anomalies within a great anomalous maw located on the moon. Sun is, as of yet, unable to raid the Shattered Moon movement's lunar base. Moon cultists must recite their pledges to the maw of the Shattered Moon every day the moment they awaken. What are these pledges?
We pledge our light to the darkness and the face of the devouring father. That's what they say. That's part of it, at least.
We pledge our body, for even if it's shattered, we shall remain loyal.
Hell yeah. All right. That was good. So next up, each player says what they want their department head to be doing during the upcoming testing phase. But since it's just us, and I don't really like leaving off in the middle of a testing phase, I think we can go ahead and skip to Stars and Wishes first for the rest of this session. So we already gave a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that you accidentally stole a baby. Because you were just like, well, I'm at the grocery store. What do I do at the grocery store? I pick up a basket. I mean, they don't like me to pick up baskets, but hey, it's a grocery store. It's what I do. I didn't bother. The baby was fine. It had everything it needed. I took care of it. It had the things it wanted, and the mom got it back. I love how like delightful Burns is to be around. Like they're weirdly pleasant to be around, but he's also trying so hard to appear human. And that is the worst thing to be recognized for when you are trying very hard to appear human. You don't want to be noticed that it's like, oh yeah, you know what? I see all your hard work trying to be human. You want that to be the thing no one notices. And Burns, everyone notices you trying so hard to appear human, and we love you for it. Like, it's so good. It's really great.
Mm-hmm. I just, oh man, I really like sort of almost a dichotomy of Superintendent Jarvis about this idea of like that's not quite normal. But everybody knows at this, but at the same time, no one seems to be quite remember what the idea was. So like I'm just so curious to know when this happened, because like did it happen before they joined Sun or before after they joined Sun? Because this is like, what sort of trouble did Superintendent Jarvis get up to over the years?
Yeah.
How much do they actually remember of themselves? Because like the sort of HR meeting was implied with they've had their mind erased before, and this just even cements that even further. So like this is just really, really interesting.
Agreed. I am so stoked about like all the directions that the characters have been heading, and I'm also really glad that we've been able to get this deep with these characters, given that it's not a full campaign playtest. Like, granted, this is effectively as if we were playing the last leg of a campaign, but it isn't really. So it's very awesome to me that we were able to see these characters develop so quickly and get so well deep. And it's really encouraging for me as a designer because I was a little bit worried about the connectivity between the player characters in this one because it's more than any other CFB game, at least that I've played or ran or read. This one is very much you are all here on your own merits and don't even necessarily have to know or like each other. So I'm very glad that we still got all of those. Like it at the same time that it opens up different paths for character interaction, that sort of starting point also can feel very limiting. And so I'm glad that it wasn't, is effectively what I'm trying to get at here. I really love everyone's characters so much. I loved seeing Jarvis get just terrified by General Burns being in there. And General Burns just like, yeah, I threw a bouncy ball and I turned it off and I didn't really want to get back up. Like, you know what? I fucking get that, man. Me too. And yeah, I also really, I agree with the whole, like, it's just the unspoken secret of Sun is that the field commander is straight up not a person. Everyone knows, but no one says. It's so fun. And I can't believe that Gilbert doesn't think he's doing a great job at keeping it a secret because no one talks about it. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that he thinks, yeah, I'm doing so great at being a human. No one even mentions me not being a human.
Like, I think he's aware, like, they know, but I think, like, it's his job to, like, make sure it's kept on the down low. And I think he thinks he's good at doing a good job at that. Like, he's making friends, he's having conversations, he's filing paperwork. Like, it's all going great. He earned Employee of the Month. Like, this is fantastic.
He's doing such a good job.
Would someone who wasn't human get Employee of the Month? That's something that happens to humans, actually. That's definitely a very human thing.
Yeah, I don't know, my dog's never gotten Employee of the Month. Shit, for that matter, neither have I.
Are you human? I don't think so. There's no evidence. There's no evidence pointing towards it. Where's your Employee of the Month plaque?
Oh no.
Yeah, but honestly speaking, General Burns is my ultimate wish fulfillment. I just being a weirdo at work, but still could be considered that I'm good at my job. And everybody being polite enough to not mention my shortcomings. And be generally nice to me. Like, this is a fun fantasy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
that is just like the perfect application of the dark workplace humor. Like, here is our fantasy game. We're going to play a game where we're weird at work in public and there aren't any repercussions for it. Wow, what incredible wish fulfillment. Like, oh my gosh, that's so good. But like, yeah, it's relatable. I wish I could be this thirsty at work, and I can't. Like, that's not a thing I could do.
I'm lucky that this basically is my work, so I am this thirsty.
Yeah. Just like, oh, it's a good game, Steph. Like,
Thank you.
I think one of the reasons why we've connected a lot with each other is just generally our familiarity with CFB for, like, the large group as a whole. I don't think this is a good game for new CFB players.
No, not at all.
No. This is too scary.
Yeah. It's
So
one that
Sorry,
Oh?
this is my first Card from Brindlewood game. I haven't.
Whoa!
Yeah, no, this is my first.
Oh shit!
I've played tons of like PBTA, and I've played a lot of trophy. Like I've done a lot of stuff, but this is the first Brindlewood. I'm really loving it. I think it's great.
Holy shit! The game isn't too scary for people unfamiliar with it.
I might be an
I
outlier.
made something great. Don't take this from me.
Yeah, like I'm also pretty sure Marty is like completely new.
He is. In fact, he was telling me about that at the beginning. I was like, it's incredible because I play with a lot of, in my own personal life, I play with a lot of traditional role-playing gamers. Specifically, like every other Saturday, I sit with my dad, who has been playing role-playing games since Gygax made it. And they have had trouble getting into Powered by the Apocalypse and CFB games. But Marty just went full hog on it. He just went and didn't stop, and it's been great. And I'm so proud. It's so cool. It's really impressive to see that kind of adaptability in someone who is mostly or even entirely only played traditional role-playing games, because this is such a far departure from those. So it's really cool to see that, like, if nothing else, for me, it is a good signifier that my game has enough touchstones in other things that it can be easily brought to people unfamiliar with this style of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me really happy.
Yeah, like after playing this quite a bit, like I would feel comfortable with running this. However, I would not be as good as with you as like with all the NPCs. Steph, why are there so many? There's so many.
Well, it's actually because I'm bad with NPCs. So I was like, I'm going to make it so that I have to have fucking 20 to manage at all goddamn times so I can get better at it. It's been working.
Yeah. Well, God. Yeah.
Well, and then you have to, any little entity that I want to talk to, you end up having to come up with, like it's so good. It's really, really good. I've been really, really enjoying it.
I'm glad. Thank you all so much for joining me these past few weeks. I'm really excited to keep going, and just I think that we should be able to get all of the investigations that we have open by the time done by the end of November. But if not, I wouldn't mind doing a few more in December as well. But I do think that we're going pretty much on pace with what I had expected. You're getting a question answered roughly every session, which is pretty much the pace that I was hoping for and expecting. So we should be good. But if not, I'm willing to go a little bit over our allotted schedule. But yeah, thank you so very much. This has been a blast. Let's wave bye-bye to everyone on the video except for Kyle, because they're not on the video.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.